When did Trump betray his voters? It may have been sooner than you think. Trump seems to be the real deal, but a look at the stock chart of Goldman Sachs seems to tell a different story. The blue line is Goldman Sachs and the green line is Japan's Nikkei exchange, which was open for trade when the tide turned for Trump. While the news of the Trump win was fresh, I wondered why the predicted stock market dive, which in fact actually happened in Asia as it became clear Trump would win, turned into an American stock rally several hours later at the opening bell. The implication was that the immediate panic was followed by a call from Trump to Goldman Sachs to assure them that he, Trump, would continue to allow Goldman to gorge themselves at the global trough. A look at the chart shows this quote, Trump rally unquote is actually a Goldman Sachs rally, as is indicated by the 33% rise in the stock since Trump was elected. The evidence is only circumstantial, but the appointment of Mnuchin last week and job offer to Gary Cohn yesterday, both current or former Goldman Sachs insiders, makes the case that Trump is bought, extremely strong. With Mnuchin as Treasury Secretary and Cohn as Director of the National Economic Council, all monetary policy appointees thus far are from Goldman Sachs, and I fully expect that if confirmed, all policies will benefit Goldman Sachs. As these ominous clouds appear, there is hope. Americans have a right to demand that no conflicts of interests exist. That means that both Mnuchin, Cohn, and their families must divest themselves from both Goldman Sachs shares and stock options, and if they are unwilling, must be withdrawn from appointment consideration. While his submission to Goldman Sachs seems as complete as Clinton's and Obama's, Obama's objection to Trump's presidency, through questionable CIA reports of Russian influence, shows there may be a continued push for a nullification of the election, perhaps in an effort to create a winning recount for Hillary to put her in office, or more frightening, as a pretext for a pre-inauguration military strike on Russia, which Trump seems ideologically opposed to. Throughout all previous campaigns there have been pre-agreed topics that would not be discussed, topics that both corrupt parties want kept secret. Trump's willingness to bludgeon these sacred cows during the campaign seemed to show his devotion to the electorate as he angered both sides of the establishment. After all, how does a candidate recover from calling the members of both parties corrupt? From this perspective it seems possible that Trump may have good intentions, but Obama and other opposition may be threatening Trump's ascension to the White House to coerce Trump to make Goldman Sachs appointments,